Good evening. Tonight, President Donald Trump declaring victory after the Senate acquitted him of both impeachment charges. All 47 Democrats voting to convict on the abuse of power and obstruction of Congress charges. Protests erupting after the president's acquittal. 23 ABC's Imani Stevens joins us in studio with a wrap-up of the vote. Imani?
Trial coming to an unexpected end, with protests erupting on the streets of New York and Washington, D.C. after the president's acquittal. But while the total number of votes for each article appears to be close, a total of 67 votes were needed, meaning more senators would have needed to vote guilty to convict the president on either article of impeachment.
Vote them out!
Protests erupting following President Trump's acquittal on both articles of impeachment, obstruction of Congress and abuse of power.
Donald John Trump be, and he is hereby, acquitted of the charges in said articles.
In a nearly party-line vote, all 47 Democrats voting to convict President Trump on both articles of impeachment.
Mr. Manchin, guilty.
Party leaders then immediately dismissing the outcome as illegitimate.
Our Republican colleagues have rejected a fair trial. Truth. There's a giant asterisk next to the president's acquittal.
While the margin of votes to convict the president appears as a close vote, that's not the case. In the Republican-controlled Senate, there were not enough votes to reach the two-thirds majority required to convict the president on either article of impeachment, obstruction of Congress and abuse of power. During the trial, Democrats had hoped to introduce new witness testimony and documents, but failed to secure enough Republican votes. Republicans heeding the president's call, all voting not guilty on obstruction of Congress. But when it came to the abuse of power charge, Utah Senator Mitt Romney, who in an emotional speech on the Senate floor brought a stunning twist to the historic trial.
What he did was not perfect. No, it was a flagrant assault on our electoral rights, our national security, and our fundamental values.
A local political science professor, Alan Bowler, says there are factors that play into consideration when a senator splits party lines.
But senators do things for a variety of reasons. They do things for their own re-elections, they do things to support their party, and they do things because often one of the things is because they think it's right.
Bowler says the impact of this trial set to be determined by voters after this November election.
And to the degree that it affects the voters, if it affects them negatively or positively against the president or for the president, then it would either decrease or increase the likelihood that he would win.
The Trump campaign already capitalizing on the president's acquittal, sending a message to supporters that reiterates that he did nothing wrong. The president tweeted that he will make an official statement about the impeachment trial tomorrow at noon. Reporting live in studio, I'm Imani Stevens, 23 ABC News, connecting you.